It shocks me just how stupid, monumentally stupid academics in the West are. It makes the saying, the mother of idiots is always pregnant, become reality. I guess like this is why they want everyone to be educated, so that everyone can be actually stupid. This person is incapable of differentiating between a real woman, an actual human being, and a video game character. I was able to differentiate between reality and fiction, I believe, at the age of 5, and I assume that this person probably did so as well, but then they made the colossal mistake in going into a university. And you get paid money, but unfortunately, your brain starts rotting and it turns to mush where you can't differentiate fact from fiction. Unironically, though, I think it was the Prime Minister of Japan a couple of years ago who was contacted by the feminists at the UN, and it's like, oh, you need to do something about the manga. You need to do something about the anime, because disaster. I mean, Japan's very dangerous for women. And he's like, no, it is make-believe, Westerner. It is fiction, yes. It is not real. I know it concerns you, but concern yourself with real events. Yeah, so literally, like movies such as The Sound of Freedom, which is inspired by real events, those are problematic, monumentally so. But video games that are fiction, this is where we need to focus our resources and attention. So apparently this is a professor who studies the politics of games. In other words, a professor who tries to influence the politics of games, who tries to create activists that put social pressure on gaming corporation. If you read some of the literature, they literally say that the students should be like a virus. And the virus should infest the healthy cell, which is the video gaming company, and then change what the gaming company is supposed to do, which is to provide entertainment, in providing the bullshit that the university professor teaches. Because the bullshit that the university professor teaches, no one needs it. So you need to force it upon people. You need to force behaviors like the leader of Lara Croft says, right? Like, this is the thing that they're doing. Very disgusting, very subversive, very manipulative. But it is what it is, right? So what is her problem with Lara Croft? Well, apparently, there was this game called The Art of Virtual Seduction, a book published by Prima Games in 2000. So I assume that this may be either a lewd video game or a hentai game. I never played it. Probably not a lot of people did, which is why it's not popular. But the problem with these academics is that they need to bitch, complain, and whine. Like, this is what they do. This is what they get paid to. Right? They get paid to be a child, literally. Like a child that cries all the time. This is what the academics do. And unfortunately, they actually succeeded in changing the Western video game. Is it for the better? I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me if you like modern Western video games. Like, the academics had a hand in it. So they can't complain about this. So they have to go back in time, up until the 90s, to pick up an esoteric game that many people don't even know it exists, and complain about that. Alright, so apparently, they go on and they have this introduction that says that everyone knows who Lara Croft is, whatever, I guess like people who play video games know. Like, there are a lot of people who don't play video games and they have no idea who Lara Croft is. The mere existence of an official licensed book titled Lara Croft, The Art of Virtual Seduction points to Lara's dual legacy as a groundbreaking female protagonist and a male-gazed sex symbol. So, I'm legitimately curious, can a woman be in charge of her sexuality? Like want to be seductive and flirty? And if that's the case, can she be seductive and flirty without being a, what do you call it, gaze-filled sex symbol? Without being objectified. And even like being objectified is a bad thing, like if the person wants it. But why even start the conversation? This is not an actual human being, okay? Like, it's an object, it's a video game character. So on one hand, you're saying, well, men shouldn't objectify women in real life. And men are like, okay, well, we're going to just isolate ourselves and play our fucking video games and leave you the fuck... Oh, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to objectify women in real life. You're not allowed to objectify women in fiction. You're not allowed to do it. Okay, so as a healthy, straight, cisgender man who is in charge of my sexuality, what am I allowed to do? Like, they lean on the experts, the psychologists, which, by the way, like they have this really dumb theory that Freud invented. It exists as the invention of the steam engine. Like, they believe that the human being is like a steam engine for some fucking reason that even exists today in 2023. So basically they will say that if a man never cries, if a man never, pisses his eyes, then he bottles up all those emotions and it's unhealthy because at one point he snaps and he explodes and he does bad things. I disagree with this take, but let's assume that this take is real, right? Why doesn't it apply to sexuality? So if you have a man which, let's say, is incapable of attracting a woman, Is that a bad thing, by the way? Like, can a man choose not to have a girlfriend? Or like, in that period of his life, he doesn't meet any girl that's interested in him? Or, like, maybe he focuses on studying and he doesn't have time to go out, or he doesn't have the resources to go out and woo a girl, right? Are men allowed to not have a girlfriend, or you must shame them of being incels, right? Because, like, incels used to be an ideology. Now it's literally the same thing as virgin shaming. Like, you're shaming a man for being a virgin. This is what feminists do nowadays. It's very progressive. High ESG scores, by the way. So you have a man who doesn't have a girlfriend, right? So he can't have that type of sexual relief. Okay, fine. He can't have the sexual relief from media. Well, what is he supposed to do? Like, what is he supposed to do? Become gay? Become a furry, I guess. Become a furry. Oh, I see. Understand. Naruhodo. Anyway. She's upset that a female video game character is hot. So, elsewhere in the book, they refer to Lara as clear appeal to primal masculine instincts and describe her as a virtual woman who always does what you want her to do. No one has ever described Mario as a virtual plumber who also plumbs what you want to plumb. Well, is there a market for it? I mean, like, if they were to describe Mario as a plumber who wants to plumb, would you buy it? I mean, I would buy Lara Croft as a virtual character that does whatever I want. But, like, would you buy this? No, there's no market for it. Like, stop pretending that men and women are attracted to the same shit. Like, men and women are equal under the law, but that doesn't mean that they're... Like, men and women are there to complete each other and make a whole, right? So, like, a woman doesn't necessarily have to be attracted in what the man is, and a man doesn't have to be attracted in what the woman is. But if you want a better example, you have Dracula, which is a monster, sucks blood, doesn't look very beautiful... And then they changed Dracula into a shirtless, sparkling vampire that is interested into some woman that doesn't have anything special and is fighting over her attention with a werewolf, right? Should I complain? It's like, oh, where's the woman that's shirtless and does all these things? Like, no, because like I wouldn't be interested in that type of novel. Right, but this is apparently the Art of Virtual Seduction base selling point was its collection of centerfold-inspired 3D renders of Lara, provocatively posed and often wearing little to no clothing. Okay, you are shocked about this in 2023, in the age of OnlyFans, in the age of Drag Kids Story Hour, in the age of cooties. This shocks you, Professor. Yes, this is what the Professor finds abhorrent. In other words, boys, please stay away from the video games and spend money on the Twitch hot tub girl and the OnlyFans girl. Am I the only one who thinks that this doesn't make a lot of sense? Am I the only one who's like, the only reason these people exist is to laugh at them? I don't know what else. Like, how is it possible this person goes out of their classroom without people laughing at them is beyond me. So apparently, Lara Croft, and by the way, like, the way you can go around this in 2023 is simple. Make a female character that's sexy, provocative, and use he, him pronouns. Literally, that's it. Like, that's your video game. Like, she identifies as a man. But, what? What are you going to say? What is wrong with objectifying a man? He wants to be objectified. Shut the fuck up. Lara's appeal. Apparently, Lara Croft's gender was part of the Tomb Raider marketing formula from the beginning. Maybe the reason if you've ever been man enough is if you've always been a man. Posits an early print ad, and you know what? Okay, so the university professor discovered that sex sells. That's astonishing. It's like an engineering professor discovering the wheel. Honestly, like what the left does, I will summarize the entire left-leaning ideology for you. They look at normal human behavior and they claim it's unacceptable. Like literally, this is the entire leftist ideology from A to Z. Like normal, healthy human behavior that has been gone around the world, different cultures, different time periods, and they isolate that, they frame it, and they claim that it's unacceptable. What is the secret of Lara appeal? The Art of Virtual Seduction brings in an expert psychologist to offer some question. They had to get a psychologist into Freudian insights. I don't understand like why Freud is a renowned psychologist. Honestly, I don't like how can you say that every child is attracted to the mother and he wants to murder his father? Like, this is literally what Freud said. And for some fucking reason, he's like a psychologist that other psychologists use as a baseline in order to draw conclusions. But you shouldn't listen to Thomas Jefferson because he was a racist and everything he did is racist as well. But Sigmund Freud clearly didn't have any issues and his work wasn't tainted by anything. So apparently the Sigmund Freud guy says men have become unsure of what is politically correct to say and how to act. Many real women have become too powerful for them. Men are afraid of them. No, it's not that. It's like they have toxic masculinity. That's literally it. It's you know, like the feminist version of toxic masculinity, especially the one from Hollywood, is disgusting. It's not something that people have which attracts friends, attracts relationships, makes you want to be next to someone. No. You know, like a person that's hyper violent, easy to snap, very narcissistic oriented. Yeah. Why would I want to be with that? And by the way, this is not like most men are afraid of women. No, like the women that are filled with toxic masculinity, the type of men they want the 18-year-old supermodel, right? So it's not about like intimidated, I'm intimidated by this woman. No, it's simple with the fact that they're not interested. And because they're not interested, those women, right, they do not want to accept rejection. So they have to think of reasons. Oh, well, actually, you know, this millionaire that I'm attracted to, he's afraid of me. Yeah, that's it. He's afraid of me. It's not that he just likes the 18-year-old supermodel. No. He's afraid of my wealth. Men and women are interested in different things, right? Like, you look at millionaires, you look at billionaires. They're not going with the rich women. They're not interested in dating the CEO. When they're on their private yachts, they're surrounded by ushi-kushi buxom ladies. Despite what these professors and academics say, mankind keeps moving on the same way it has moved on through all of the previous years. Look at this. The child in a man can realize... The child in a man. You know that Freud had something to do with this fucking expression. The child in a man. Shut the fuck up. The child in a man can realize his masculinity with a completely harmless yet concentrated femininity. And when he... And by the way, this is in 2023 where we believe that a man can just identify as a woman and become a woman, and all the lived experiences of a woman become his, right? These are like we need to hold all of these assertions in our head, right? So like a person has masculinity and femininity, like a man has a child inside him, and a man can like accept his masculinity but be in touch with his femininity, but he can identify as a woman and he becomes feminine, and it's like there's no differences between the genders, right? Like men and women are the same, they should be attracted to the same things, but like you have femininity and masculinity within you. Anyway, right, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.